So a friend of mine, my hair. A friend of mine yesterday, we were talking. Was it yesterday? We were talking yesterday. I decided to do this YouTube channel. It's called Mornings with Michael. I was going to call it Mornings with Mikey, but I don't know. That came during meditation. It seems like it might be kind of forced. So I don't know. We were talking about how people are making YouTube channels and they're putting all these things up on YouTube, and that I've made a lot of videos and done a lot of stuff with people, but the production is just so much work, and getting people to edit and them saying they're going to edit and then they don't edit. I didn't want to get into it. So I'm putting this up here as kind of a chronicle about my day-to-day life. There's a lot of things that are happening with me that are kind of amazing. And I said to a friend of mine, I met them, they work at a major internet company. I got to be good. I've got a really big mouth, and I say everything about my life. Like, I've got a play in New York happening now. It's called Creepy Kid, and it's about my life growing up with a mentally ill mother. That was a lot of fun. And the abuse that I went under, which was terrible and has held me back for a number of years. So I tell everything in my life. There's no boundaries with me, and I keep forgetting I've got to be careful with people. So a friend who works at an internet company, unnamed, very powerful, beautiful person. They love me to death. They said, just start putting a YouTube channel up where you just talk about your life and what you're going through. And I thought, well, that's kind of self-serving. But then I thought, well, I have this inextricable need. Inextricable. I'm always told I talk too fast. Talking this fast, by the way, is a sign of anxiety disorder. And there's one thing that my family has is massive anxiety disorder. My mother, poor thing, she took her life about 8 years ago now. And I wrote the play. It was about my life growing up with her and my battling with anxiety, depression, all that stuff. And I told my friend, I said, what am I going to talk about? And she's like, just put the camera up and talk about it. There was a friend of mine last summer. I love him to death, a little bit of a crush on him. And he did a thing where he shot me and then was going to put it together and didn't. So I finally understood something. It's not that other people are saying they're going to do things and don't do it. Well, that is kind of true. They actually do. It's just that finally you get to the point where you're just like, all the production, all the lighting, all the work, you just want to be who you are. So I spent so long trying to censor myself. Actually, this is where this all came from. Last night, I went and saw this play called Turn Me Loose on off Broadway at the West Side Theater. It's the story of Dick Gregory, the comic, right? Black comic. And it was a firecracker, amazing show. It was phenomenal because it was all about speaking your mind, talking your truth. And Dick Gregory is all about talking his truth. And it's like now we're this society that's all about being polite and careful. And, if you're working corporate, you can't say anything. And, I understand boundaries, but I also know that I need to obliterate boundaries, that I need to speak my truth, whatever that is. And, well, that truth is, it's this, that, what my friend said to me yesterday, and this wraps it all up. Trust me, this is how my brain goes. I coach people too, in my wonderfully fantastical way, because I've been through so much shit and I've endured so much shit and I came through such an abusive childhood. The fact I'm alive and I'm as balanced as I am, I know all about how to make it through dark stuff. I know all about it because I've been there, and I still wrestle with it now and then, not nearly as much, thank God. I mean, the fact I'm alive and I don't have AIDS is just phenomenal. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Not that I was a slut, a little bit. I was a hooker for a while when I was young, but I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Yeah, I always do this. What was I talking about? She said to me, okay, she's like, so get up there and talk on YouTube and talk about what you're going through in your life. And, this is what she said. Everybody, they don't mean to be, especially in Manhattan. My arm hurts. Hang on. Oh, God, how do you look good like this? Thank God I have hair, right? I haven't had Botox yet, but I thought about it. She said to me, everyone's a fraud. And I heard that. I thought, well, that's not true. But then I thought, it's kind of true. Everybody, like, there's so many people I know in affluent circles in New York and LA, and sometimes I run in those and sometimes I run with less than. You'd be amazed who can't pay the rent. You look at their Instagram accounts, their tweets, and you look at Facebook and you'd be like, oh my God, such a fabulous life. You have no fucking idea what anyone is going through. So I've come to understand finally that that bumper sticker, compare and despair, it's so true. I have no idea what anyone's going through. None of us have any idea what's going through. So we just do the best we can. We get along the best we can. And my friend who works at this huge internet company, she said to me, I love you, and just you got to do what you got to do. So if some things aren't popping yet in your life and some things are, focus on what is and just appreciate that. I know that sounds woohoo, but it's really not. I mean, that's the only thing we can do in life, right? Okay, so I talk. This is what I do. We're at 4 minutes, 50 seconds. I don't know. I think on YouTube, after like almost 5 minutes, we're all going to sort of check out. So if I'm checking out, you're checking out. Have a fabulous day. This is Mornings with Michael.